because I'm like below the dais, but I'm here. So it is fabulous to have Hopkinson in the house tonight. And we are going to start with the Pledge of Allegiance. Oh, I'm calling the meeting to order, and we'll do Pledge of Allegiance and then roll call. And do we have someone to lead us?
We do.
Thank you.
Thank you, President Hill. Good evening. I'd like to begin our presentation this evening with our 5th grade student speaker, Delaney Bolin, followed by our Hopkinson Choir.
Hello, Los Alamitos Unified. My name is Delaney Bolin, and I am one of our 5th grade Husky leadership students. At this time, would you please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance? Please stand and remove any hats. Place your right hand over your heart. Ready, begin. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Please be seated. At this time, I would like to welcome our Hopkinson Choir, led by Miss McElderry, who will be performing Thankful for the USA as a tribute to our country.
Get in there too. Should I though? Okay.
Are we done? Miss McElderry, come back. Where are you?
She's in the back row.
On behalf of the Board of Education, we know all too well that this doesn't happen without people like this. So we are giving her our pure gold medal.
Fabulous. Ms. D'Angelo, shall we take a roll call?
Yes. Mrs. Padasani? Here. Mrs. Davidson? Here. Mrs. Hill?
Here.
Mr. Forehand? Here. Mr. Bragman?
Here.
And I will look for a motion to adopt the agenda.
So moved.
Second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Wonderful. I will now turn it over to Mrs. Reed.
Thank you so much, President Hill. Well, I'd like to formally welcome the Hopkinton community to the board meeting tonight. It's always a pleasure for us to get started by seeing student faces. And what a wonderful night to have Mr. Farber. Wow. Mr. Farber at the podium
I'll take
tonight.
the promotion.
To share all the amazing things happening at Hopkinton Elementary.
Thank you so much. Good evening. Good evening, President Hill, members of the board, Dr. Pulver, Executive Cabinet, and of course, everyone from our Hopkinton staff and community. My name is Jason Farver, and I am proud to continue serving to our Hopkinton Huskies, their teachers, and all of our families as principal. The board report is truly a tribute, and I'll start that tribute, to the dedication and teamwork that makes Hopkinton such a special place. Our teachers, our Huskies, paraprofessionals, staff, district partners, and everyone who helps to make each school day possible, we thank you. Thankfully, I'm not presenting alone this evening, and I'm so grateful to be joined by three outstanding fifth grade leadership students. Delaney Bolin, who you saw lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance, and later you'll also hear from Madeline Lenhart and Amara Griffith, who will share their experiences from a Husky perspective. So, what makes up the Husky experience? Is it strong connections between teachers and their Huskies? It absolutely is. Each day, our teachers work not only to help students grow in skills and knowledge, but also to build their confidence and belief in themselves, to work hard, and as our theme reminds us, to shine bright and to be you. It is our commitment to collaboration across teams and grade levels. It's that too. Is it the enriching experiences our students have in music, STEAM, and art? Yes. Every adult on our campus plays a crucial role in connecting with our Huskies and ensuring that their school experience nurtures a growth mindset and prepares them with the skills they need for both today and in the future. It's this dedication our teachers and staff bring each day is matched only by what our Hopkinton Huskies bring to school. Their curiosity, their kindness, willingness to support one another, and together we continue to grow, learn, and shine brightly. All right. So what goes into a full day of teaching are the best Huskies around? Well, it begins with strong collaboration at every grade level. Teachers work together to plan rigorous, consistent learning experiences using district-approved curriculum while also building in time for intervention, support, and reflection to make the most of every single day. Our teachers do this work together and in partnership with Education Services, using curriculum and student data to better understand where each student is and how to support them next. That collaboration extends well beyond the classroom to include reading lab teachers, education specialists, our speech pathologist, school psychologist, and our wellness counselor, ensuring that we're not just supporting the learning, but the whole child. Instruction at Hopkinton is intentionally designed to reach every student. Teachers have been using their assessment data to create small groups, provide targeted support, and reteach as needed so that learning is used effectively and purposefully. Equally important is reflection. Teachers regularly review data and classroom evidence to adjust instruction and plan their next steps. From UTK through fifth grade, this cycle of collaboration, support, and reflection helps students to build their confidence, to think critically, and grow. When educators work together with purpose and care, our Huskies thrive endlessly. The student learning experience is both rich and intentional. Our focus is to prepare students for their next challenge while also building their confidence in who they are as learners. That work begins in UTK, where, you can see on the screen, students may learn the habits of school and explore the world around them, sometimes through a hands-on experience like a classroom farm stand where they pick foam apples out of the fence to develop their fine and gross motor skills. In kindergarten, students use manipulatives to strengthen their understanding of letter sounds and CVC words, building a strong foundation for their future reading. As students grow, their learning becomes more applied. In first grade, they're taking math outside using real-world investigations to explore measurement. And by fourth grade, students have grown as musicians, applying reading, counting, and math skills as they sing and play the ukulele. Our multi-age SDC students, which you can see kind of at the 6 o'clock mark, have been participating in learning beyond their classroom through community-based instruction, building skills and their stamina needed for middle school independence. And by fifth grade, Huskies are learning more independently with the guidance and support from their teachers. These students represent the culmination of years of instruction, care, and support, stretching all the way back to UTK or kindergarten. Skills like decoding, fluency, and vocabulary take time to develop, and they allow our fifth graders to leave Hopkinson confident, capable, and ready to access whatever comes next. Across every space on our campus, we are committed to data-informed planning and collaboration and student support, which ensures that Huskies are empowered with the skills that they need to take on their next chapter and to do so brightly. All right, the data. Each year, students in grades 3 through 5 participate in CASP. This data matters because it helps us understand how our students have performed compared to state expectations. Our Huskies consistently perform well above state averages, demonstrating strong achievement in every grade level, but we know there's still more to be done every year. CASP provides a snapshot from one point in time. And through the support of education services, teachers across grade levels have access to a variety of assessment tools that allow for more timely and data-driven conversations about student learning. This supports our continued planning, ongoing collaboration, and our responsive instruction throughout the school year. And one way we're able to see that is through our MAP benchmarking scores, and I highlighted 3rd, 4th, and 5th grade. And so our RIT scores in reading and math, collected at both the beginning and now we've done our middle of the year as well, work like a ruler for our learning. They show students' instructional levels and help us to measure their progress over time, so we're not surprised by anything later in the year. Teachers have used this information to adjust their instruction and provide targeted supports. And so the chart, if you look, it might look a little busy with the numbers that you see, but it does tell an important part of our Hopkinson story. In every grade level, Hopkinson students are demonstrating growth from the beginning to the middle of the year, and we expect to see the same by the end. The bracketed numbers underneath, where they're in black under the blue are our scores in the grade level, but the black are the national mean averages, and it shows that our students began the year even above national averages and have continued to grow through the middle of the year benchmark. They reflect the intentional work that we mentioned previously that take place both at our site and at the district level. Teachers are regularly analyzing this data along with other pieces, collaborating with their colleagues every week, and they use in-class intervention strategies throughout the week to make sure that any reteaching or support takes place. It's strengthened through our partnership with education services, including professional learning, coaching from TOSAs, and instructional tools that help teachers respond effectively to the needs that they know about each student. And with that, we see that our growth data, as it compares to national growth from the beginning to middle of the year, is also a strong indicator that the work is happening. In all but one category, our student growth is meeting or exceeding national growth averages, even when we started above national achievement averages at the first benchmark. This data has been collected in grades 2 through 5. I highlighted 3 through 5, but it begins with these strong foundations of all grades at Hopkinson. And I'd be remiss if I didn't mention, these are the ones that we report, but we know that just like layers of time, the learning they use in 3rd grade didn't just start there. It started all the way back. And so it's a real collaborative team effort amongst every grade level from beginning to end at Hopkinson. And for that, we are proud, and I am proud as a leader to see what an amazing staff we have supporting all 641 kids at Hopkinson. With that, I think we should hear from some of those kids. And so I'm going to pass the mic over to Amara, who's going to tell us a little bit more about what it means to be a Husky for life.
Thank you, Mr. Farber. The connections we build at Hopkinson start early and continue to grow with us from grade to grade. But what is it that makes us a Husky for life? Early in our time at Hopkinson, we are surrounded by the care and support of so many great teachers. They truly go above and beyond for us. For most of us, that begins in TK or kindergarten. Our teachers welcome us into their classrooms as we explore the world around us through hands-on learning with all of our senses, and playing. Yes, playing is learning. By kindergarten, we celebrate together with our We Are Readers parade through the school, as everyone encourages us to keep working hard every day. It's also the bonds we make with our teachers. They spend extra time and effort to show us what their passions look like as adults. That might mean joining a beach cleanup on the weekend, or even coming back in the early evening for a classroom reading party to celebrate how much we've grown as readers. Later, we get to see how our classroom learning connects to the real world when we visit In-N-Out in 2nd grade. There, we learn about goods and services, and we write about the experience like true authors. We use details and evidence from what we see and learn. Hopkinson is also about the relationships we build with each other. Our teachers help us solve problems with one another, and they encourage us to find what we have in common. That helps us build stronger friendships. Once we're in 3rd grade, we're finally old enough to be a Husky Buddy. As a Husky Buddy, we partner with a younger classroom and help them with reading and projects. We also get to visit our old classrooms and reconnect with teachers who helped us along the way. In between, we're reminded of all the amazing things our school has to offer. We learn in the STEAM lab, take music classes, and look forward to special experiences like our annual 4th grade trip to Sacramento. And of course, we look ahead to outdoor science school later this year in 5th grade. And finally, we give back to our whole school as members of Husky leadership. We help plan assemblies, support recess to our youngest Huskies, and make our school an even better place. At promotion later this year, it will be easy to remember how we became Huskies for life because of these experiences and because of the positive memories we've made with our Hopkinson friends and teachers.
At this time, I'll have Madeline Lenhart share about connections they make and the wellness we provide at Hopkinson.
At Hopkinson, the connections we make begin at the very first day of school, when our teachers make sure that we are supported as we transition from summer to our school year with the warmest welcome possible. This welcome isn't just for us. It is also for our families as they let us go into our classroom to be supported by our school family for the rest of the year. No matter what grade you start at Hopkinson, we want every student and every family to feel welcomed, included, and part of our Husky community right away. Every day at Hopkinson, you can find support everywhere, at the main office, in the lunch line, on the playground, in the Wellness Center, during Music and Media Center, and even during Walk to School Fridays. At Hopkinson, the adults really get to know each of us as individuals. Our teachers, the main office, nurses, and all of our staff take care of us and cheer us on in all that we do. They help us learn, solve problems, and feel safe at school. It makes a big difference knowing that we have adults we can trust each day. We build strong connections with our classmates. At Hopkinson, you can look around and see that everyone is unique. We may come from different backgrounds, but we work hard to show kindness and respect during Disabilities Awareness Week and our Walk in My Shoes experiences. We learn how to listen, include others, and be good friends, even if someone is different from us. Our PTA Multicultural Committee helps bring our school together by planning events that help us learn about each other and celebrate the many cultures in our community. These presentations have included Native American, Filipino, Peruvian dance, winter holiday celebrations, and this Friday will be our very first ever Lunar New Year celebration. Hopkinson also supports our wellness and our feelings, not just our academics. Our wellness counselor plays an important role in helping students. They help us handle big emotions, solve conflicts, and learn healthy ways to cope when things are stressful. They remind us that it is okay to ask for help, and they help us build resilience so we can keep going even when things get hard. Our ruler learning also connects us to ourselves and guides us to be emotional scientists. At Hopkinson, we know we are not alone. We have friends, teachers, and staff who support us. We are a school where students feel cared for, connected, and included, and we are proud to be Hopkinson Huskies.
I know this is hard for me, but a huge thanks to Madeline and Amara because they're much younger than I am and they were able to do it. All right. How do we communicate and stay connected to our families and community? It really is a team effort. It takes a whole school. Our teachers are excellent about sending weekly communication about what your child has done, will do, and continues to work on. Our paw print newsletter is a collaborative effort between our site and our PTA, who helps publish it for all families. And I, over the last 4 years, have learned more about Canva and Instagram than I ever thought possible. But they are two of the tools that we use to also make sure that our communication is clear and timely, so that our families feel not only connected, but engaged in what we're doing at school and what their child is learning and being, able to experience as a learner and just as a regular elementary student with so many activities to enjoy. But all of this work would not be possible without our exceptional partners. Our Hopkinson PTA, our Friends of Hopkinson, and of course our district partner in life. Each year, PTA works to provide student and family events as givebacks for our students to have an enriched, beneficial elementary school experience. I haven't been at the high school in a while. We begin the year with our Popsicle Post-it, where we welcome all families to our campus to learn who they have the next school year, but also to reconnect with one another. We end our first week with an ice cream social and move into fall with our PTA Carnival. Throughout the year, PTA's generous volunteerism makes countless events possible and so special for our Huskies. Not unlike PTA, Friends of Hopkinson helps us in so many ways. They're one of our major donors and fundraising arms of our school. I did put cilantro and broccoli up there, which you might think is out of place, but the garden that Friends of Hopkinson generously donated is literally bearing fruit now, and so we are harvesting, and through collaboration between our teachers and our STEM lab, we are growing, planting, and exposing our kids to soil science, and so that was a huge give from Friends of Hopkinson. And each year, their forward funding helps to provide that STEAM instruction, media center support, and a PEIA that allows extra intervention time for our classroom teachers. With LAIF, as a parent in the district, my kids have enjoyed so many different after-school enrichment programs. And at our site, we're also huge beneficiaries of their innovation grants. The first picture you see is our installed communication board on our primary playground. It mirrors what an AAC device would look like for a student in one of our in our SDC, multi-age Husky class, but it helps kids of all ages on the playground really explore how we can communicate and how we can communicate with our multi-age peers. Our innovation grants are showing up in our STEAM lab and our classrooms with 3D printers. And our multi-age classroom this year received musical instruments to start teaching more about music instruction for those students in Mrs. Lee's class. But Hopkinson does feel like a home, and in fact, it's a very large home that houses over 640 people every single day. And with that come care and maintenance support from facilities maintenance, operations, and transportation each year. I put the garden on there again because over summer we needed some support, and grounds and maintenance helped us get it ready for the planting cycle this year so that kids were ready to learn on the very first day. They've also improved our front parking lot through they patched some things and then they came back and redid the whole parking lot so it's safe, trip-free, and drains properly. And it's phase 1 of, fingers crossed that it's all on track for phase 2, which is our whole playground being resurfaced this summer so that kids have an ongoing safe place to play. And then in working with technology, as you know, we have so many new assessments this year that rely on technology. And so through mindful use of our resources, the tech department sent us some Chromebooks that were student ready from the high school that no longer were needed there. And so every classroom is equipped with the tools they need to not just be learners, but to learn about their learning and move forward through the school year. And so that brings us near the end about who our Huskies are and our gratitude. I have an immense sense of gratitude. The board report is really, like I said, a tribute to the school and our community. But what makes it so special? I hope I've been able to really convey just how strong the commitment is amongst our teachers, our staff, of course our Huskies and their families, to making each year phenomenal at Hopkinson. Here, we bring our best every day to support every child and to support one another. You see commitment from the very first day when Huskies are welcomed into their classrooms with open arms and a shared focus on how we're going to grow together. You're reminded of that responsibility, that growth doesn't end with the bell. You see it when our paraprofessionals help kids to find their own voices, sometimes supporting them on stage as they perform alongside their second grade peers in their holiday performance. Or you see it when our teachers participate in our Start with Hello campaign during Peace Week, right alongside their students, because they're happy to welcome them to school as well. You see it in connections built between Huskies when they write bright spot notes at lunch, letting others know just how important they are. And you see it in TK when teachers intentionally build the social, emotional, and functional skills needed to feel confident, not just for kindergarten, but for the rest of their time at Hopkinson. And you see it as students grow older. One of the highlights every year is when we see our students accessing the world around them, and they come back to tell us all about it as seniors in high school. And we know that the Husky for Life connection really didn't end at 5th grade promotion. It kept going and going. It's where Hopkinson students feel safe and free to be themselves, a place where they can share their heritage and stand proudly before all of us at an assembly and shine by sharing their own culture of Peruvian dance. And it's a place where 5th graders, supported year after year, are ready to give back as leaders in Husky leadership and help to guide others. We begin each year with open hearts and open minds, and together we nurture confidence in ourselves, but in our Huskies, and we help develop their skills to take on new challenges and to grow into their best selves. Sometimes we see this when our Huskies return as teaching colleagues, and we have quite a few, and maybe you returned as our PEIA right alongside your mom, who's a 3rd grade teacher, like Grant Stewart. At Hopkinson, we show up every day with a focus on kids, their growth, so that each of us can shine brightly and be who we're meant to be, ourselves. Thank you very much. All right, I'm not going anywhere.
On behalf of the Board of Education, these 3 lovely ladies are getting the board's gold You did it. You did it. Because you stood in front of this Thank you on behalf of the board. You did it. Now, one of you may have to share this with Mr. Farber because he did it too, right?
No.
He was a little nervous, I think. Congratulations.
I have a little something for the kids, but I want to thank them. I know that I'm nervous every single year when I get up here. I hope it goes away, but I don't know if we're there yet. And I know that they did not show any of those nerves, and they are strong, confident speakers who are ready to tackle anything. So, Delaney.
Mr. Farber, thank you so much. That was an excellent representation of what Huskies are and what Hopkinson does. And it's amazing, and it's so good to see so much of your staff and your students and your parent community here as well. It makes us very, very grateful. And I really appreciate your explanation of the data. And one of the things I kind of noticed, and I'm throwing something out there, so don't get nervous. But it seems to me there's something that we call learning loss over the summer, right? And so for those of you that don't know, and Mrs. Reed, tell me if it's still correct, but I know back in the day, it used to say it would take 6 weeks to get students back to where they were at the baseline when they got back into the classroom. And so I just am so, is that correct? Is that still correct, or has it changed? Okay. Structure of school. Thank you very much. But I just am really appreciative that you showed us all that progression. I think that's really powerful, and it's powerful for our community to know and to understand. And your culture and your heart, you as the principal and the Hopkinson family is just amazing. So I really want to thank you for sharing that with us. And ladies, you were phenomenal, and I want you to know that, they say the scariest thing in the world is public speaking, and obviously it's not an issue for you, so you're good to go. So I will see what my fellow trustees, if they'd like to say anything. Mr. Bragman.
I actually really want to echo what you said. A couple of my notes were, I think when you're on the Hopkinson campus, it's so strong of a connection, and you feel that when you walk there. So the balance that you all have in terms of the care and commitment, the shine bright and be you feel that, but also the drive to also be academically such impactful teachers. The teachers out there, you guys are amazing. It's so fun to be in the classes on campus and to see the growth. And I love, like I just heard from our amazing President Hill, is that when I was looking at your MAP scores, which I love how much you're paying attention to those, to see the growth from beginning to middle year. Before you had already pointed out on the next slide, I wrote, wow, they're outgrowing the expectations. You're outgrowing what the nationwide norms are. And that's going to pay dividends at the end of the year, and it's paid dividends through middle school and high school and beyond. So I love to see that. It's a really, if parents, you should be getting those MAP reports. I assume you get them. And so look at them and talk to your kids about it. Some of us have middle schoolers, and we're talking about how our middle schoolers are now explaining to us the scores. It's a really cool, accessible way to understand data and understand their growth. So pay attention to it. Listen to the teachers when they share about it during back to school night and open house. But love to see the growth, and love to see the way that you're balancing that with also just taking care of the students and making sure they feel safe emotionally and academically at the school.
Thank you.
Mr. Foran?
No, I listened the whole time and thought, what an outstanding presentation. And the Huskies are in great, caring hands. Thank you.
Thank you.
Mrs. Davidson?
So, Mr. Farber, that was outstanding. Ladies, you were phenomenal. I have to go to the comment, though, about where you slipped in about high school. And
sorry.
No, don't be sorry. About Mrs. Partizani and I were fortunate. You can only two of us can go on walkthroughs, so it has to be broken up over the year. And so we got to go recently. And I told Mr. Farber that for a long time, it felt really sad. I felt like the high school kids were being cheated because when he left as AP World History teacher, he was a phenomenal teacher. Everybody wanted him, outstanding, challenged the kids, prepared them so well, taught them how to be like world-class, world-engaged learners. But when I walk on the campus with him and I see the way that he interacts and the joy that he has in every class and the way that he cares about his teachers and aides and every employee, but he most of all loves you kids, then I realize, no, you're where you're supposed to be, and we're very blessed that you're there. So I'm really thankful for that. And I want to say to all of our schools, because I know we have principals here supporting another principal, which is just so astounding. You guys have such busy lives. For me, if I could change things, I wouldn't call them schools anymore. I would call them communities of learning and love. Because when you talked about how your teachers, all of your staff work to find, your instruction is based on reaching every single child. You don't do that just by the data, which you do an outstanding job of, but we see it in the classrooms, in the way that the kids are treated and respected and cared about, and how you can walk through a classroom and every single child is so deeply engaged that you can ask a second grader, I wouldn't say what is the objective of your learning, but I'd say, so what are you learning? And they can tell us, they can explain, and they can even give the purpose, the why. And when you can answer a why question at second grade, Hopkinson, you're doing everything wonderfully. I am a very proud Hopkinson parent alumni. My 43-year-old son was my youngest of two. Both my kids went there. Still, he's a lifer. He's a Husky for life. We were joking about how at your Christmas, at your sale in December, that for Christmas, he wanted Hopkinson bling. And, so for a 43-year-old living in Virginia to still cling to those memories, it's not a school, it's a community. And I'm so deeply grateful to every single one of you. You guys are a giant blessing to this world. Thank you.
Mrs. Partisani?
Yes, so absolutely. I wanted to echo everything Mrs. Davidson just said, because we did have the opportunity to visit the campus, and I walked away so impressed. And everything that you just said, Marlis, ditto. I would have to say several times I had to ask, what grade are these students? Because more often than not, I was so impressed by their ability to articulate what they were learning and showing us how to solve problems. And it was very remarkable. And I would say the other thing that was such a standout that explains this level of learning to me was really the collaboration that I saw amongst the teachers. Especially within the grade level. It seemed like when we left one classroom, the next classroom was just continuing that instruction in a way that they were finishing each other's sentences. And to me, that just seems like, of course, if when teachers are this tightly collaborating with each other, of course, the results are what you just displayed. And the learning happens in such a profound way. So thank you. Thank you for the love and care that you show the students. It was very touching that anytime a student seemed to, they all got excited as we walked everywhere, Mr. Farver, but also when they had an issue or a challenge, you were the first one that would excuse yourself and go and have a conversation with that student. And I think that says a lot when you have the principal being so closely tied to the students. So thank you for that. Thank you to the community and the wonderful teachers. None of this would be possible without you. So thanks.
All yours, Dr. Pulver.
Thank you, Madam President. I will echo everything that I heard from all of the board members. Mr. Farver, you and your staff just do an exceptional job. We often talk about how we run to kids. And I think that, and whether it's the kids that need us the most or what, but really I think that personifies a lot of what you talked about tonight, but also what we heard from the students. We heard a lot about really just having staff who go above and beyond, whether it be our instructional aides, our office staff, our wellness, our special ed staff, our teachers, our custodians. doing everything they can to support students. Obviously, their principal as well. And so I think you mentioned it as kind of really leading and working with our youth with purpose and care. And then when we heard our students talking about it, they used some very similar words about really how grateful they are to have just the personal attention from teachers and from staff members, and how much the teachers show that they care. And I think that's one of the things that probably makes, as you said, this community of love and support, and why people want to be a Husky for life. I mean, you hear some about a 43-year-old man in Virginia who still wants to have, bling from Hopkinson. But I also really echo, it is such a privilege for us to be able to visit our schools and to see the magic and the community and our students thriving in action. And it was, honestly, there was great intentionality and purpose. It was magical. As Mrs. Partisani was saying, we walked into some of our upper grade classrooms. They have adjoining doors. We went into one room, they were teaching a math lesson. You walked into the very next room, a completely different teacher, different sets of kids, and you could just pick the lesson right up as we kept going along. And there were so many just wonderful examples. But it was also really powerful for us, and sometimes why we recognize the investment that we also really recognize of investing in the whole child and the mental health. Where we really got to observe, and we were invited in, so this was, special for us, into the well space. And there was a group of students that were being, that were there working with the wellness counselor, and it was inspiring to be able to see the maturity and the support that the students gave to one another as well. And so great things are happening, and it really is a blessing to be a Husky for Life. So great job for your leadership and just the incredible talent and work and passion of our amazing teachers and staff. So thank you.
Thank you very much.
And Mr. Farver, we would be remiss if we did not congratulate your amazing choir and Mrs. McElderry for the song. And I heard one of my fellow board members say, another new song. It's really, it's really amazing, and it makes me feel so warm inside, all of us, to see what a great job you students do up there, and the love that you have for our country as well. So it's very special. Thank you.
Thank you.
And Mr. Farver, I will turn it back over to you.
Thank you so much, President Hill. So every year, each school gets to give a single award to someone who's left an indelible mark on their school through volunteerism, giving back, and the direct support of kids. And so I like to make it a surprise, but I did think over time, that person gets caught off guard in a very public way. So I don't know if they love the surprise, but we'll soon find out. And so it is with great honor that we get to recognize our 2026 Hopkinson Hero of the Heart with Kristen Moore. Hi. Now you get to hear me say that thing. Okay. So if you can't tell, this is Kristen Moore.
I was very surprised.
Oh, great. It worked. So Kristen, it is an honor for us to recognize you as our Hero of the Heart. If you haven't met Kristen before, you certainly have experienced the benefit of her hard work as one of our most dedicated volunteers and community leaders. Since joining Hopkinson Community over 7 years ago, she's truly exemplified what it means to be a servant leader. She's currently serving as our PTA president, and she's in the final year of her term. And she's left, like I said before, an indelible mark on our school through her coordination of PTA events, but more importantly, as her leadership as a committee chairperson, executive vice president, and now president. Additionally, she's also served with Friends of Hopkinson previously, and our hope, fingers crossed, is that once this term is over, we can convince her to kind of stick around and share those leadership skills with everyone who follows her. Kristen's not just one to simply delegate any of her work. She's the first to join in and leads by the most positive of examples to ensure that every student has accessible, equitable, and positive experiences at every event and every opportunity. I've said it before at Hopkinson events that sadly magic isn't real, but the magical feeling of a warm, inviting, student-focused event absolutely is real. And that comes from the hard work of volunteers just like Kristen. The kind of experience happens when dedication and volunteers and time overlap and the care for children is the main focus, and we will continue to see Kristen's magic for years to come. As you know, volunteerism is often a family affair, and it's never uncommon to see her husband Tim and her two boys, Tucker and Austin, right alongside her, supporting the work that makes these events so successful for so many. Kristen is a trusted steward of our community, ensuring that we all, including this principal, remain focused on what matters absolutely the most, children. On a personal note, if I may, as a teacher, and I speak to everyone here who's taught before, we welcome kids into our classrooms every single year, a whole new bunch. And they come to us with aspirations and goals for themselves about who they want to be and what they want to learn. And over the year with them, we start to co-opt those. We want those things for them. And in June, when we send them off to be the next best first grader or eighth grader, or in my case, often, seniors into the real world, we don't always get to close the loop and know how that turns out. You hope that everything you wanted for them and that they wanted for themselves becomes real. And so it is particularly heartening for this high school economics teacher to know that this senior who walked into his class 25 years ago this month is every bit the responsible, caring, dedicated, and hardworking adult that I just knew she was going to turn out to be. You're welcome. And so it is with extreme privilege that I recognize Kristen Moore, as our whole school does, that we are so proud and thankful for her work as our hero of the heart. You're so good at it.
Thank you. It's such an honor, and I'm a Griffin, and I went through all this, and I'm just so happy my kids are going through all this, and I'm just very thankful that I'm able to be as involved.
And guess what? On behalf of the Board of Education, you get the one that says you're number one.
Thank you.
But on the other side, it says thank you. You are awesome for making a difference.
Okay, Mr. Farver, you made me cry.
Sorry, Diana, I didn't mean to do that.
But beautiful story arc. You did a great job. Kristen, congratulations. And it is even more special when our Griffins come back and are part of the community. It is what makes this place so incredibly special, and you so incredibly special. So thank you. And would you like to introduce your family?
They should.
All right.
Tucker,
My
Austin.
husband, Tim, and my fifth grader, Tucker, and my third grader, Austin.
Bet you guys are really proud of your mama, huh? You should be. So thank you very much. Yes, Dr. Pulver. Anybody else? I'm sorry.
Everywhere I go, something's happening.
I just saw you yesterday here. So yeah.
Thank you.
Sure. I just wanted to say something really quick. First of all, what a touching story. Mr. Farver, you do not look old enough to have had a senior that has come full circle.
I hesitated on the number of years because it does age both of us.
Well, the good news is neither of you show it. So, but you know, Kristen is, you are absolutely everything that Mr. Farver said and more. I just recently have had the privilege of getting to know you, but I've seen you and your reputation precedes itself. So to be the hero of the heart, it's an honor that is really selected by the teachers, as I understand it, right? The teachers and the community come together and say, we think that this is the person we want to honor, along with, of course, the principal. And I think that just says so much about the work that you do and the impact that you're making at Hopkinson and at our district. So thank you.
Dr. Pulver.
Thank you. Kristen, you truly are in your Hopkinson era, aren't you? Look at that. But honestly, what I would say is, I think you've been in your Hopkinson era for so many years. I've been in this role for 7 years, and every time I see you, I think of Hopkinson Elementary, and it's been more than just your role as PTA president. You are always representing and trying to serve our Huskies and trying to find ways to make enriching and exciting opportunities for all of them. And you really are someone who just epitomizes that humble servant to go above and beyond, that quiet person to really just kind of make extraordinary things happen. I say often it's part of the secret sauce of our district is these amazing parents and individuals who go above and beyond to support all kids. And the best gift that we can give one another is the gift of our presence. And we are beyond grateful for how much you have generously given to all of our students and to staff and to this community. You're well deserving of this award. Thank you for your exceptional service and leadership. We love you. And I'm a little bit disappointed when you introduced your family, but there was one missing.
My mom's here.
Oh, your mom? Yes, and I thank you. I'm so glad. See, it was divine intervention because I was also wanting to see the dog, but you know, I see the dog up there. But Mom, you had to be introduced as well, so.
And thank you very much. We will now take a recess, and students, if it's okay with your parents, there are cookies outside. Cookies for dinner. And so, but we would like all of Hopkinson staff, Hero of the Heart, and student speakers for photos. Thank you very much.
All right, let's get Hopkinson staff to come on up. Any Hopkinson
Thank you very much, Dr. Pulver. And Mrs. D'Angelo, do we have any public comment cards? Fabulous. Then we will move on to our consent items. We have just two consent items this afternoon, 4A and B. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Passes 5-0. Then we have an action item, and typically we have the vice president read the resolution, but since Mrs. Davidson is our rep to the board, to the CTE board, correct?
Yeah, committee and ROP too.
And ROP too. I have asked her to read the resolution. Mrs. Davidson.
Thank you. Whereas February 2026 has been designated National Career and Technical Education Month to honor students who have chosen to pursue career and technical education as a means of acquiring real-world skills to compete in the workforce, and whereas CTE prepares students for high-wage and high-demand careers by offering integrated programs of study that link secondary and post-secondary education and lead to the attainment of industry-recognized credentials, and giving all students leadership opportunities in their fields and in their communities. And whereas CTE provides students with career exploration opportunities, which enable them to make informed and beneficial decisions about their academic coursework and pursue established programs of study and career pathways. And whereas CTE programs provide students with opportunities to gain invaluable hands-on experience through internships, apprenticeships, and other work-based learning experiences that are embedded in CTE programs. And whereas career counseling coordinators, administrators, school counselors, and CTE teachers help students explore their potential and set realistic goals for themselves. And whereas Los Alamitos Unified School District collaborates with Orange County Pathways by identifying and utilizing community resources that can enhance and complement comprehensive CTE programs to help students become productive members of society. And whereas career and technical education is offering a path to success in the 21st century economy while helping to address the urgent need for skilled labor in high-demand industries, thus enabling numerous students to secure gainful employment and lead productive, fulfilling lives. Now, therefore, be it proclaimed that Los Alamitos Unified School District hereby recognizes February as CTE Month and extends sincere best wishes to all the talented young students who have chosen career and technical education as a way to achieve their lifelong professional goals.
Thank you, Mrs. Davidson. I'll take that as a motion. Do I have a second? Is it a roll call? Look, I knew it. So we will now do a roll call vote.
Mrs. Parasani?
Aye.
Mrs. Davidson?
Aye.
Mrs. Hill?
Aye.
Mr. Forehand? Aye. Mr. Bragman?
Aye.
That's 5-0. Thank you very much. I didn't ask if anybody wanted to speak to it.
If you don't mind, just real quickly,
Absolutely.
I thank you for bringing forward this resolution to be able to celebrate the month. I just want to actually shout out, I appreciate how this calls out specifically the students, but also shouting out our teachers. Our CTE teachers are such an amazing group of professionals that are giving back to our students, and so many of them could be working outside of the school setting, could be spending their daytime serving as paramedics, serving in industry, doing work in engineering, but they are choosing to work at our high school or at our middle school and serving our students. And so I just want to really thank everyone that is giving back to our students in that way and appreciate them. The CTE pathways we have are so strong. We know we continue to have them grow. And even where we're not growing pathways, we're bringing in CTE experiences. So thank you also, Ms. Davidson, for representing us on the ROP and being part of this committee and bringing forward this resolution. Really, really proud of the work we're doing in the district.
Thank you, Mr. Bragman. Okay, no other comments? Seeing no other comments, yes.
Could I make a suggestion? Given that February will be recognized as the CTE month, is it possible to have some type of overview of all the CTE offerings that we have at the high school? You know, it would be just really great to get a summary, and I'd like to maybe in a way would help use that as a way to inform our community, maybe for those who are not aware of all the different wonderful opportunities we have available for them.
Yes, I typically do that during the February meeting in my superintendent's report and highlight the 17 pathways or courses that we offer. I'll also highlight how we're expanding and our partnership with North Orange County ROP. Yep.
Thank you very much. Great suggestion. And you do usually do that, and we appreciate it, Dr. Pulver. So if there's no other discussion or comments, we will now go into closed session, and we will come back and report out. Thank you.